Good morning. I didn't even want to wake up this morning, honestly. But listen, guys, thanks for tuning in to Pure Evil MMA. We are doing a UFC 229 live reaction here. I was going to do it last night, but, it wasn't. That wouldn't have been a good idea. Just, brief everybody. I woke up, in a different town, in someone else's bed, and it took me a little while to get home this morning after, I did stay here, watch all the fights, the entire card, and then after I found out that Conor, after I watched that main event, it was just too upsetting for me to sit here and just gloat on it. I needed to get the fuck out of here, but I did black out. I will not lie. I did black out. If you guys want to go check it out on Instagram, I went and did a couple of posts this morning where I'm walking on the road just what the fuck happened to me last night. Check it out at Pure Evil MMA _. Also on Twitter at Evil_Echo. But let's jump right into the card, guys. I mean, Conor McGregor, whole bunch of hype behind Conor McGregor going into this fight. I was even saying, listen, it's 60-40 Khabib going into this fight. I did have Conor McGregor winning in the second round via TKO, but we didn't even get to see Conor at his... All right, let me back up. I've been saying Conor at 155 pounds, we might see him in his prime. And now I take those words back. I don't know what was going on last night. I've been seeing everybody's reactions and stuff like that. People are just... There's a lot of people that are happy that Conor lost. Listen, I'm not... How do I put this? Before Conor lost this fight, I was saying if he did lose this fight, he wouldn't be losing any brownie points. But after last night's performance, man, we didn't even see Conor land a good punch. I at least thought we would have our moments. I really thought this would be Chad Mendes versus Khabib here, because a lot of people out there would be it's going to be a landslide one way or the other. And you guys are right, man. Khabib Nurmagomedov destroying Conor McGregor. Clearly, afterwards, there was a whole bunch of drama that unfolded. I'm still trying to wake up. I'm still trying to fucking recover from what happened last night. But there's a lot of people, even in the Pure Evil MMA chat room. Let me read what my girl Leslie said, because she made such a good point. And I feel there's a lot of people that will also agree with what she had to say here. I mean, a lot of people are just fed up. She goes, all right, this is from Leslie. Hey, Conor has pulled a lot of shit, including attacking the guy first last night. Which, if you guys went back and watched the highlights, people are posting the highlights all over the place. It did seem like Khabib maybe went over the edge, but apparently Conor, and let's take a look at this footage, actually, because somebody just sent it to me. All right, so at For The Kicks Pod posted this. It goes, new footage showing Conor McGregor throwing the first shot on one of Khabib's corner men, causing the others to retaliate. So let's take a look at this. Clearly, Conor's down there, upset, in the corner, as I got in the thumbnail. There goes Khabib. There comes Conor. See, there are a lot of people out there. This is a 2-minute video. Matter of fact, let me... I'm going to retweet this right now, so if you guys want to watch it. Here's the footage. I'm tweeting it out right now if you guys want to go watch it, because from what I saw, even from that, I can't really tell. It just looks to me like Khabib just kind of jumped over the cage, started yelling at Dylan Dennis or whatever, and that's not the way things should be. I mean, after a fight like that, I know that these two were saying, there's going to be no peace. There's not going to be any peace, even though back in the day, not that long ago, Khabib and Conor were not tight, but they were cool with each other. But now, obviously, moving up a weight division, they're going to come in contact with one another. I'm still a little upset we didn't get to see Khabib versus Tony, but man, Khabib Nurmagomedov, biggest win of his career. He even rocked Conor last night. I didn't even say a word throughout the entire main event. I was just sitting there waiting for Conor to just kind of, keep the distance, do his thing. You heard a lot of people talking shit, including Conor being oh, there's a lot of openings there. Khabib isn't a striker. That's what he does to get in there to take you down. Man, right off the bat, Khabib took Conor down within the first couple of seconds. And I was all right, we've seen this before, and I'm clearly upset. I'm clearly fucking a little disappointed in Conor McGregor's performance. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that be like, listen, we don't buy pay-per-views, like, ever. $7 for pay-per-view is a lot of money to be dishing out, spending on fights. Like, you're literally paying, what, $12 a fight pretty much? If there's 5 fights on the card, $12 a piece, yeah. Paying about $13 a fight. It was a good pay-per-view card. For a lot of people out there, it's probably even better. Like, I'm supposed to be media, so I'm supposed to, like, look at that. And I've interviewed Khabib's coaches and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. I wanted more out of last night's fights. There's a lot of people that are really pleased with what they saw last night, but I feel like Conor should have been able to do more in there. He just got shut down. And this was a big question going into this fight, like, what Conor's going to show up. He did lose to Mayweather. So is he going to come back, and are people going to be like, oh, you're on a couple fight losing streak, even though what he just accomplished at UFC 226. And I sound like such a, not 226, but UFC 206. And I sound like such a bitch right now, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed in Conor McGregor for the first time. And you know what? Throughout his entire career, he's had phenomenal fights. You've never really seen a fight quite like this. Even the Nate Diaz fight that he lost, he was destroying Nate in the first round. Last night, Khabib just shut him down. And I have to apologize to everybody because when I was watching the press conference and stuff, I was like, Khabib looks... Shout out to Khabib, man. Now that I'm like thinking about it, Khabib's a fucking boss. He goes to the press conference. He's like, I don't got no time for this. Like, Conor's just playing games. I'm here to fight. I've been training. He wants to do his whole media thing and, you know, raise publicity, whatever. I'm preparing for a fucking fight. He don't want to show up to these press conferences. He wants to try to please my... I know what he's doing. I know what he's doing. I ain't going to be the guy to feed into it. Even for the weigh-ins. Even for the fucking weigh-ins. Khabib was like, you guys think I'm going to miss weight? Check this out. I'm first to the fucking scale. He goes in, weighs in. Man, much respect to Khabib. Biggest win of his career. What's next, though? What is next for Khabib Nurmagomedov? Is it Tony Ferguson? Is he going to get pumped up for Tony Ferguson? Showtime Pettis versus Tony Ferguson. I was really excited for. I was a little confused what the fuck happened in that fight because it was like his corner, shout out to Duke, threw in the towel. Showtime's hand was broken. We've seen this before in the past a couple of times. But even Showtime, like, this is what's crazy about mixed martial arts. You don't know shit until you watch the fight. You can make all the predictions in the world. You ain't going to know shit because what I saw with Showtime Pettis was focused. Looked like he was back on his mental swagger. Even doing the interviews that he had. He looked great. He looked great. Tony Ferguson, people were saying, oh, he's coming into this fight with that injury, this and that. Listen, Tony Ferguson is on such a spree. Last night, he went in there, he did his job. Wasn't the most exciting fight. The dude's only lost 3 fights. I mean, all right, so he beat Showtime. He beat Kevin Lee. He beat RDA, which was a huge fucking fight under Tony's banner. Only fight to do next, if Khabib is champ, defending the title, which is great because that was another big thing, and people were saying, you know, you won. Conor was saying you won that belt from a real estate agent. Well, Al Iaquinta did a better job in that fight than Conor did. Tony Ferguson versus Khabib has to be next. That's the fight that makes the most sense. We've booked it 4 times. It didn't come to fruition. But man, shout out to Khabib. Round 4. Submission. Knocked Conor down. 1 knockdown. And there was just like something different about Conor last night. And I noticed this when he walked out for the Mayweather fight. It just felt like he was out of place, out of position. Then he comes in this fight. The swagger starts going. We start getting excited. But it didn't even feel like a Conor McGregor fight week. Like, I don't know what's going on right now. Like, we're seeing a switch. And should be a shame because Conor really, if you're the UFC, if you're Dana White, the Fertitta brothers, or WME-IMG, you're hoping that Conor wins this fight. Let me pull up the chat room. You're hoping that Conor wins this fight so you can keep promoting the UFC. Conor is the UFC right now. If you mention the UFC, Conor is the guy. Nobody really knew who Khabib was. That's why they tried matching this up with Tony Ferguson first. All right, so if you guys got any questions in the chat room, shoot, because y'all being silent as fuck. But listen, after the fight, Conor's team was just like, on to the next one. But it just seems like some brownie points were lost after last night. Like, what does he stay at this weight class? He looked phenomenal at 155 versus Eddie Alvarez, another wrestler. Phenomenal. I don't know what was going on last night. He is a father now. He's been taking some time off. Here's another thing that just rang a bell. Conor was fucking drunk at the first press conference that they had. That rang a couple of bells with me. Like, I understand that he was trying to get in Khabib's head, like, here, you want some liquor? And we all know Khabib doesn't drink liquor. It's against what he believes in. But Conor was wasted, and that's poison. If you're getting ready for a fight, it makes you wonder, like, how serious were you for this fight? I understand, like, this is a big business venture for you. You got the whiskey. You want to promote it. You happy. You excited. Wait till after the fights, though, man. Like, you were at the press conference, drunk as shit. Look what happened to Michael Bisping, getting drunk before the GSP fight. It takes a toll on your body, man. You're poisoning your body. And this is another argument where I'm like, why can't fighters smoke weed? Why can't fighters smoke weed, but yet they can drink? Like, why aren't fighters getting punished for drinking, acting like fools, going out there? Like, if Conor McGregor sat there and smoked some weed, it probably not going to be the most exciting press conference, but he ain't going to be throwing dollies through buses. And that's another thing, like, a lot of people are excited about, too, because Conor was kind of being a dick in the last year. He's been a dick in the last year. His ego is getting the best of him. We saw him, hop in the Bellator cage, start shit with, Mark Goddard. You can't be that cocky. He gets special treatment, and all the fighters know it. Conor McGregor gets special treatment by the UFC, and it's because he is the face of the company. I don't think Khabib's going to be on the cover of the next UFC game. I don't think, even though he beat Conor, I think more people are talking about Conor losing than Khabib winning, and I could be totally wrong, but I don't know. Some brownie points are lost here for Conor McGregor. Like, listen, I was excited to see this fight, but I felt like at this moment in Conor's career, after the whole Eddie Alvarez fight, the Chad Mendes, Jose Aldo, what he was able to do to those guys, the whole rise up. I'd rather have seen him fight somebody like GSP, Anderson Silva. Now he has a couple of, let's look. Conor's last 5 fights, including the boxing match. He lost last night. He lost the boxing match. He beat Eddie. He beat Nate. And then he lost to Nate. So what, 2 out of 5? A little frustrating. I'm a little upset with Conor McGregor. I felt like he should have been able to prepare more. Big shout out to Khabib, though. Big fucking shout out to Khabib. I'm at a loss for words right now. I really am. And I had a great night. Like, the entire night through, there were a lot of amazing fights. So let me get off the subject of this, but OSP losing to Hayes, Derek Lewis, Volkov. How about that fucking fight? 10 seconds left in the fight. 10 seconds left in the fight. Never count Derek Lewis out. And never, even if Derek loses, I still want to see him, like, on the mic, because what he says on there is just fucking hilarious. What did he say last night? He was saying some funny ass shit, like his balls were sweaty or something weird. But being Alexander Volkov, man, huge win, because obviously Drago looked amazing in the fight. First, second round, Derek Lewis needed this win, because I do think Derek Lewis is championship material. I do believe he deserves a title shot. He's 21-5, 33 years old. He beat Drago last night. He beat Francis Ngannou. Take it or leave it. He beat Ty Burrow. His last loss was to Mark Khan, and that was on his rise. Before that, beating Travis Brown, facing adversity in that fight, which we kind of saw last night as well versus Volkov. Like, first round, I was like, fuck, Lewis. Fuck, bro. What are you doing? And as the fight just went on and unraveled, it just takes one shot. It just takes one shot from somebody like Derek Lewis. So, what is next for him? At number 2, you got DC as the champ. DC versus Lewis, that would be sick. But apparently, Dana White is out there saying, probably most likely going to be stripping DC of the heavyweight title. Which, I mean, guys, DC versus Lewis, come on. Is that not a fight that you would want to see? Is that not a fight you would want to see? What about Lewis versus Stipe next? Stipe's got to be what? Number 3, number 2, or number 1? That would actually be an exciting fight. Michelle Waterson beating Felice Herrig. I am so fucking hungover right now. It's not even funny. Last night, this has just been a crazy week for me. Emotionally, mentally. And then last night, man, I went hard. I was going sick last night. Michelle Waterson getting the win. This was a very interesting fight between her and Felice Herrig because it was like, whoever wins this fight is most likely got their foot in the door for a title fight. Not saying that they will get it, but they got their foot in the door. Felice Herrig has been on one hell of a run. Her last loss being to Paige Van Zandt years ago. She got back on the horse, get back in there. But Michelle Waterson as well, her last loss was to Rose Namajunas. Her Muay Thai skills are just on par. She's coming off a win to Courtney Casey, another big girl. Felice, another very big girl. But before that, she lost to Tecia Torres and Rose Namajunas. Before that, beating Paige Van Zandt, beating Angela Magana, beating Jessica Penne. Quite a little run here for Michelle Waterson, taking it by decision. And I thought Felice did better than what the judges gave for her. I thought it was first round Felice, second round Michelle, third round was up in the air. But I believe one judge had it like 30-27. I saw people like Bloody Elbow scoring at 30-27. I didn't see that, but I do believe Michelle Waterson won the second and third. I don't know. It was close in my book. It was pretty close in my book. But no love lost for Felice Herrig. Before that, Showtime Pettis' little brother, Sergio Pettis, gets the L against Formiga, the number 5 contender. This was a huge fight for little Pettis as well. Both Pettis brothers on the same card. Both Pettis brothers losing. Very upsetting. Not what I wanted. Like, if tonight could have went perfect. Here's my night if it would have went perfect. These were my picks. I wanted Conor to win round 2 TKO. I did want Ferguson to win, but I was feeling the vibe of Showtime Pettis. Like, of course, like everybody's probably in the back of their mind rooting for Showtime to get back on his grind. UFC needs stars. Showtime's clip against Benson Henderson will be on repeat forever. I am happy Tony Ferguson won. He didn't have much to say after the fight, but then I wanted OSP to win. Dominic Hayes, undefeated, taking out a veteran like OSP. And OSP's not a veteran, but he's got more experience than Hayes. So that was a big pickup win. Then Lewis, I wanted him to win. I wanted Waterson to win. And I wanted little Pettis to win. Vicente Luque, he got the W against Turner. And, you know, Vicente Luque, let me say this about Vicente. This guy is so underrated. You can say what you will about his past, but look at the little streak that he's been putting together. And he's finishing dudes. 14-6 record. Kid's only 26 years old. He beats Turner. He beats Chad Laprise before this. He beats Nico Price. His last loss was to Leon Edwards. Before that, beating Bilal Muhammad on short notice at UFC 205. Beating Hector Urbina. Vicente Luque, man. Keep your eye on him. He's not even ranked. He isn't even ranked. And I feel like that's a fucking shame. He definitely deserves next in line top 15. His next fight needs to be top 15. Then after that, Tanya Evinger versus Aspen Ladd. How about that fight? Aspen Ladd putting work to Tanya Evinger, making it look easier than Chris Cyborg made it look. In the fight that Tanya Evinger had with Chris Cyborg, it took a while for Chris to beat her down. And that does not mean I am saying, so I know there are a lot of Cyborg fans that listen to this, does not mean I'm saying Aspen Ladd is next. And I did tweet that out this morning. People will be jumping on my Twitter saying, you know what, that is an interesting fight. She had some trouble making weight for this. She beat Tanya Evinger via TKO. She made it look easier than Chris. Should Aspen Ladd be fighting Chris Cyborg? Well, 7-0. Her last win was to Lena Landsberg. She's only got 2 fights in the UFC right now. To throw to Chris Cyborg next would just be a shame. I want to see her rise up. Because Tanya Evinger, even though she is the Invicta FC champion, she's not ranked right now. Aspen Ladd's top 10. Who should Aspen Ladd fight next is the big question here. Not Chris Cyborg, though. Maybe in the future, like a lot of girls say, maybe in 6 more fights when I'm more ready for it. I hope who I think is watching this and heard that, because they'd be getting that joke. But guys, if we have to rate this main card, listen, Pettis not winning for Miga getting the W, Waterson getting the W, Lewis getting the W, Hayes getting the W, Ferguson getting the W, and then Khabib. Maybe it didn't go the way I wanted, but this was a good pay-per-view. And I'm interested to see how many pay-per-view buys, because Dana was saying 2-3 million buys. I don't think that happened last night. There were a lot of people watching. There were people I never even knew watched fights that were watching last night. So maybe I could see that, but no, not 3 million. Like this, like I said at the beginning, like this did not feel like a McGregor fight. Like, say what you will about this, and let me know if you guys agree. I love the UFC's walkout, how it's like you walk out of the tunnel, like, your hockey. It's not like the WWE. It's not like Bellator. And I do enjoy Bellator's walkouts with like the stage and the pyro and the screen in the background. I like that. But there's something more natural about them walking out from the underpass. But the one thing that they should change to make these events feel bigger is do exactly what they did at UFC 189. I mean, the fight didn't feel as exciting as it used to with Conor. But when it comes to fight day, like I woke up yesterday, I felt like it was fucking Christmas. I was excited. But when you hear the music come on, when you see them start walking out, the one thing that's missing is the walkout that they had at UFC 189 when, what was her name? Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor singing out Conor McGregor. Aaron Lewis singing out Chad Mendes. That sent chills down my spine. That's the kind of shit I want to see, at least for the main event. That makes it feel so much more like you're going into war. You know what I mean? Like, how did I forget this? Bruce Buffer's suit last night? Holy shit. Bruce Buffer's been getting on my nerves though this year with saying a little bit too much about fighters and pay and what are you saying to Nate Diaz? Literally rubbing me the wrong way. I love his grind. I love what he does. I love his suits. But just announce the fighters. Your opinion, you shouldn't be having an opinion when your job is to call the fight. Like, that's your job. Don't be biased. Don't be telling fighters they make enough money or they shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. I understand if TMZ runs up on you, they want something, fine. Answer the question, but be very careful about what you say. Bruce Buffer rubbed me wrong, but I will give him a shout out for what he was wearing last night, because he looked fly as a motherfucker. Fly as a motherfucker. Let's actually look at the lightweight division. Let's see who we got in the weight classes at lightweight. It's just such a shame, man. It's such a shame because Conor didn't even land like one nice punch. Not even one. We didn't get to see Conor fight last night. It was just like a mauling. It was a fucking mauling. Last night, Conor got mauled. Conor got showed up last night. He got showed up. And I'm really not surprised. I'm really not surprised. There was something in me that was feeling this, like something was just off with Conor. It wasn't his cardio. I don't know what it was. But there was something off there. I can put it back on the drinking. How serious were you taking this fight if you are drunk at the press conference? Look how focused Khabib was. First the scale to weigh in. Saying, I ain't dealing with this bullshit. He wants to be late? Good. Be late. Make a fool of yourself. Because after you lose, this shit gonna look stupid. And it does. It does look stupid. But Conor knows what to do to promote fights. I'll tell you that much. That's what the UFC needs. Win or lose, UFC needs somebody like Conor McGregor to pump up. Look how he just even changed the fucking, between the weigh-ins, the press conferences. How many people tuned in the press conference this week? A lot. The UFC 205 press conference, 206 press conference, one of the biggest press conferences in history. So obviously, Dustin the Diamond versus Nate Diaz could be next at 165. But I think Dustin deserves a shot here against Tony Ferguson. What about Dustin versus Tony El Cucuy? Dustin does have this upcoming fight, though, against Nate. But they playing games. I don't know if they're like having fun with each other. But November 3rd, we're about a little less than a month out. I would actually like to see Khabib, if they do open the 165-pound division, fuck it. Let Khabib fill the shoes of what Conor was supposed to do. Let Khabib make a name for himself. This has been a long time in the making for Khabib. Undefeated his entire career, mauling guys one after another. Here's the thing with Khabib, though. Like, the last couple of fights that he had, yeah, I like Quinta on short notice. I was there for that. The fight before that, Edson Barboza, UFC 219, great fight. Slaughtered Edson Barboza. Michael Johnson, very great fight. Michael Johnson did a better job than Conor did. Michael Johnson did a better job than Conor did. Before that, Daryl Horcher. That's when Khabib was coming back. Daryl Horcher did a better job than Conor did. Daryl Horcher took the fight on short notice. Never had a UFC fight in his career. And he rocked Khabib a few times. Man, I don't know. I'm like, you got to love Conor for what he's done for the sport. But I think Conor needs to reevaluate things right now. I know he wants to do the next big thing. And it's on to the next one right now. But how he's been acting, throwing dollars through the window, rooting fighters' career, it doesn't seem that funny now, does it? He got away with a lot. Conor got away with a lot, acting like a thug. This entire year, Conor's been acting like a thug. So you know what? I'm fucking happy that Conor lost. Now that I think about it, I'm happy. I hope that he gets humbled from this. Where's the Conor that we were used to? The quick wit, not getting dirty, talking about, people's laundry and shit. I understand the whole promotion aspect of it. But there's a line you don't cross. You don't jump into the Bellator cage. You don't mouth off to referees. You don't throw dahlias through windows. Rose Namajunas is fucking traumatized from that shit. Traumatized. Liz, I'm live on. I'm doing my show right now. I gotta call you back, but I'll.
Shit, call me back.
All right. My little cousin checking on me because she know I had one hell of a night. I'm still trying to recover right now. I still am. If I'm stumbling my words, stumbling my thought, it's because I'm literally waking up giving you guys my legit reaction to this. Like, I didn't even have time to process. After Conor left last night, I left here. I called an Uber. I was fucking hammered, too. I was some... Either way, I knew I was going to have a good night. I mean, I made some... Last night was a good night. Picky out. But I'm just a little shaken up about, Conor McGregor this year. He really needs to start changing how he acts. Like, you don't look that cool now that you lost to Mayweather, which is understandable. You lost to Nate. Understandable. You lost to Khabib. But you didn't just lose to Khabib. You got destroyed by Khabib. You literally got destroyed by Khabib Nurmagomedov. I might cry. Literally might cry. Literally might fucking cry. Because, I feel like last night really changed a lot in my mind. A lot of Conor's fights, it's been like, I don't think he's going to win this, but he proves everybody wrong. And now it's like, he's too confident in himself. Saying, this is a different level, blah, 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 blah. But when he stepped in the octagon last night, tell me I'm wrong. It didn't feel right. It did not feel like a Conor fight. His last couple of fights, since UFC 206, which is what, over 2 years ago, Conor just hasn't, something changed. I feel like he just got too cocky, believing in himself too much, and it's good to believe in yourself. And I'm not denying that he's putting in the work, and maybe it was just an off night for him. It happens to a lot of fighters. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. Because there are a lot of people out there that are expected more. But I'm sure there's also a lot of people that loved every second of Conor getting destroyed. And now I'm going to go back upstairs, rewatch it. Because now I am happy that Conor got punished. I'm so now that I'm looking back on it, like, I'm so happy that Khabib was just like, this number one bullshit. This number one bullshit. Fuck this dude. Literally was just not having it. Khabib was not having it. He was calling out Conor for a while. Showing up to the weigh-ins, first one to the scale, going to the press conference, be on time, answer the questions, been there for 20 minutes. This dude ain't here, fuck him. He ain't getting in my head. He's not getting in my head. And I was even saying, like, Conor is getting to Khabib. I thought after the press conference, it looked like Khabib was going through an irritable weight cut. He was just irritable. But no, it was just like, no, I can't focus on anything else besides beating this guy. I don't need to worry about promoting myself, promoting the fight. I need to worry about making weight. This is the biggest fight of my career. And just shut this dude down. And that's exactly what Khabib did last night. That is exactly what Khabib did last night. He took care of business. Just like that. Took care of business. Did you guys see, like, the clips of all the fights that broke out this week? Big Brown was saying, like, I wouldn't go to this fight. People are going to be getting crazy, drunk, starting fights, and there were a bunch of fights that broke out. I posted one on my Instagram. People are tweeting out more fights that went down, but this dude literally gets knocked out cold. One punch, slept. Better fight than the main event. Better fight than the main event. Let me see what your reactions are here, guys. So very quickly, before I end the show, I am going to rate the card. Out of 10, 10 being the best. I'm also going to look at a couple of these tweets that you guys got. Let's see what some of the reactions were on social media. Here's where Khabib dropped Conor. Ran into him with the big knee. Like, oh my God, what, Conor? That wasn't Conor McGregor, though. Like, I might be fanboying out over here, but, like, what the fuck was that, Conor? What the fuck was that? I'm not saying I could have done any better. I'm not saying that. But I expected more. Maybe Khabib really is just this good. He's been shutting down opponent after opponent. The question is, do people realize after this fight, like, Khabib is the real deal? All right, let's see. So, Brandon the Truth. Shout out to my boy Brandon the Truth. Let's see what he had to say this morning. All right.
Young, y'all MMA fans need to make up your mind, because this shit don't make sense to me. Nick Diaz, they could brawl on TV, off TV, and it's gangster. But as soon as Khabib, bro, it's a disgrace to...
What the fuck? Bro, where's your next clip? You can't end it right there. Shout out to Brandon the Truth. I like his content that he puts on social media. Man, how about that? Khabib versus Nate. I would love to see that fight. All right, let's see what Khabib had to say at the press conference.
I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage, you know. What about he talk about my religion, he talk about my country, he talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus.
Khabib's making great points right off the bat there. This is at the press conference. Khabib wasn't taking the bullshit. Khabib wasn't playing into the fucking game and the promotion. This was very real for him. Conor, I feel, got into the fantasy of, I'm the number one promoter. I'm the number one fighter. But I feel this time around, he was just more concerned about, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking answer is. But Khabib makes a great point. But Khabib also has to realize that Conor is promoting the fight. The reason why 3 million people are tuning in is because of what Conor has made of himself throughout the years. What people come to expect from Conor McGregor. Khabib has to understand that. So whatever Conor says, you have to take with a grain of salt. But if somebody says that to you, that's easy for me to say. But if someone's sitting here talking shit about my dad, my country, my beliefs, passing him the liquor in his face, his manager and shit like that, that's going to rub you the wrong way. And the big talk is what happened after the fight. I think that's one of the biggest, like, the actual fight happened after the fight. For real. Let's play this again and hear what Khabib had to say.
I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage, you know. What about he talk about my religion, he talk about my country, he talk about...
Let me say this, though. This is why I love Muay Thai. And shout out to Lion Fight. They had an event last night. Shout out to Lion Fight Promotions. But here's why I fucking love Muay Thai. After the fight, no matter what, even before the fight, these fighters are at peace with one another. I understand that that's a little difficult with the whole promotion. But after the fight, no matter what happens, no matter what happened before, you should always leave in good graces. I understand Khabib was very ticked off. But, bro, you just tapped Conor McGregor, man. Celebrate now. You don't need to be attacking Dillon Danis. There are people out there being like, oh, Conor threw the first punch, this and that. I'm going to have to, like, go back and watch this shit now.
My father, he come to Brooklyn and he broke bus. He almost killed a couple people. What about this?
That's another thing. Conor McGregor, the whole bus incident, looking back on that, that shit's fucked up. That shit is really fucked up. He fucked up Mike's face, bloodied him. Rose Namajunas shook. That was very disruptive. That was... No one else would get away. If anyone else did that, anyone else, they would never be allowed in the UFC again. We've seen Dana White do that to fighters plenty of times. But since it's Conor McGregor, they even used it in the promotion for the fight. And yet you got people that it actually fucking affected. Like, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the content, but that shit affected lives. Yeah, he went to court. He got in trouble for it. And remember, the UFC was like, oh, yeah, we're punishing Conor. He had an upcoming fight, and we're canceling it. No, you did not. Let's be real. No, you did not. The UFC was probably happy Conor did that.
What about this shit? Why people talk about I jump over the cage? Why people still talk about this? Like, I don't understand. I am respect. My father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. My old team, where I'm training California 7 years, everybody know who I am. All my friends, like everybody who know me, they know who I am, you know. And I told you guys, these guys, not only him, his old team and him, they tap machines. You know, I told you guys, when you put him wrong way, he gonna tap, you know.
That's another thing. He was going after Dillon Danis because Dillon Danis was saying he could submit Khabib. There's been a lot of beef. My point is just like after the fight, let it go. You got the win. More people are talking about what happened after the fight than the fight itself.
What happened today? Like, they call him two-time world champion, like 2 weight classes. But today he tapped. And that's why, alhamdulillah, belt is here, undisputed, undefeated.
And you know Mayweather last night, this man's a quitter. Points of the easy work. This man's a quitter.
UFC lightweight champion. And you know, and I want to say something like, you know, like people little bit, it's not people, I think it's media. Media a little bit change MMA. This is respect sport, you know. This is not trash talking sport. This is...
Great point, Khabib. Really good point. But you also have to realize for people to be dishing out money, how many pay-per-views did I buy this year? Honestly, this was the first one. All the other pay-per-views, I'd go out, do what I had to do to watch. This is the first one I bought, and it's because Conor McGregor and what he's been able to do with his career. Khabib respected that, and he let him do his thing. But he did not lose focus on the actual fight itself. He wasn't getting drunk like Conor. That's the one thing that's really pissing me off. Like, I just keep going back and just thinking, like, how serious was Conor about this fight? Like, did Conor really think this was going to be an easy fight for him? How could you be hammered getting ready for your fight that's in a couple of days? That shit takes a toll on your body. I don't know, man. I'm not happy with Conor. I'm not happy with what we saw last night with Conor McGregor.
Respect. So, like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game. I don't want people talk shit about, like, opponents.
No. Khabib, this is the thing, bro. You're a monster, bro. You are a monster. Some people out there love what you do. You know, number one bullshit. Why you do this? All that. People love that. But it doesn't get people in their seats. You could be undefeated. Ask Mighty Mouse. Ask fucking Mighty Mouse, who has exciting fights, promotes himself pretty well on commercials and shit. You need people like Conor McGregor to boost your career. Did Al Iaquinta boost your career? Did Michael Johnson boost your career? Did Daryl Horter boost your career? Did Edson Barboza boost your career? No, but after you beat Conor McGregor and after everything that he did, that will boost your career. That will be like, this guy's the real deal. So I understand what Habib's saying, but he also, and I'm sure he does, needs to realize that this is what Conor does. And this is why people love tuning into his fights. But he did not back himself up last night. Conor did not back up a single word. He didn't even land a single good punch on Habib. And with all the people breaking it down going, oh, after we watched the last couple of Habib's fights, there's a lot of openings here and there, and this could be an easy fight for Conor. For you guys that are listening to the podcast, you can't see my eye movement, but I'm just pretty much rolling my eyes right now.
About his father, like religion. You cannot talk about religion. You cannot talk about nation. Guys, you cannot talk about this stuff.
And that's another thing. Like Conor, even if he did get in Habib's head, I feel like it just, like Habib wasn't playing. Like Habib was taking it so real. And I really respect that about Habib. I gained a lot of respect for Habib this week. And I've been a big fan of Habib. But I was always questioning, like, how good is he at the top tier? Let's see him fight other... Because even the Edson Barboza fight, after he fought Edson lost pretty much the same way. After he fought Michael Johnson and won, Michael Johnson lost. Like, and that shit happens. With Conor McGregor, the people that he's beaten have only gotten better as time went on.
This is, for me, is very important. And thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for waiting for me here. I know my father gonna smash when I go home because...
That was another thing. Habib's dad wasn't even in the corner, which is a big thing for him. His father's usually in his corner all the time with visa issues and shit like that right now. This is why I agree with Conor. Like, the whole thing with Ali Abdelaziz. I can't even believe I'm saying this because I'm part of the media and I really need to be quiet about it. But how is it that Habib's father isn't able to come over here, but yet Ali Abdelaziz is going all over the place? Answer me that.
I know he's gonna smash me. And... Nevada, sorry. Vegas, sorry. And Alhamdulillah, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. Thank you so much. And I'm very proud about, like, all media talk about, he take picture with...
Drake.
With Putin, something like this.
Oh, okay.
He just called me. And he said he very proud of me. I win. And he said congratulations. And
Whoa. Did you just say Putin called him? Is that what I just heard? You take this picture with Putin. Putin called me. He said, congratulations. For real? That's crazy. I'm not surprised.
With Putin, something like this. He just called me. And he
something
said he
like this.
Very proud of me. I win.
He just called me.
And he said congratulations. And I told you guys.
He just called me.
I'm going to change 6
at the Putin. But he just called me. I love that.
With Putin, something like this. He just called me.
People, media be talking, Putin, something like this. He just called me. That's such a good clip.
And Nevada, sorry. Vegas, sorry. And Alhamdulillah, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. Thank you so much. And I'm very proud about, like, all media talk about, he take picture with Putin, something like this. He just called me. And he said he very proud of me. I win.
He just called me.
And he said congratulations.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Lena, when I need your love. Getting a phone call from Putin, bro?
And I told you guys, everything I'm gonna change 6 October, and I do this. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much.
Habib, can you talk about the fight before the brawl?
And he walks out. He puts the belt around his shoulder and goes. Big shout out to AKA. Big shout out to or Rosendo Sanchez, his striking coach, because, man, Khabib Nurmagomedov is a force to be reckoned with. And I understand, like, the whole frustration about the Tony Ferguson and him fighting. That is the only fight to make here on out. I would like to see Dustin the Diamond next. Fuck it. Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. Please make this happen. Please, God. This needs to happen now. You can't have Tony walking around with the belt. And that's the other thing. Like, Tony was the interim champ. Like, I wonder how different things would have been if Tony didn't get injured. Tony was the original champ. He was holding the belt. Then he got stripped. It's just so number one bullshit is what it is. It's number one bullshit. All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta start my day. I gotta jump in the shower. I am so hungover right now. Just ate breakfast. This is my live reaction. I'm gonna do another podcast, obviously reviewing a lot of the news, but I needed to react to this. Like, it was just eating away at me what happened last night in that main event. In a nutshell, I'm just not happy with Conor. I am not happy with what Conor did. Conor, he's got the promotion thing down, but how serious did he take this fight? He's showing up to the pressers, drinking, and this and that. He made weight, whatever. I just feel ridiculous because I was like, we might see the prime Conor McGregor at 155. He looked phenomenal against Eddie Alvarez. Imagine what we're going to see tonight or last night. Conor was shook. We've never seen Conor shook like that. Ever. Big shout out to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Guys, I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, MyMMAnews.com. Make sure to subscribe down below here on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, you can follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/PureEvilMMA. Also on Instagram at PureEvilMMA_ and on Twitter at Evil_Echo. We will be speaking with James McSweeney, who also had a fight yesterday against UFC veteran Thiago Silva. He had a great first round. Fortunately, lost via decision. But this is the fight game, man. It's the fight game. Shit like that happens. I hope you guys enjoyed the night. This is the last thing I got to say. Rating this card out of 10. I give it a good... All right. We can go about this two ways. For a pay-per-view, I give it an 8 out of 10. For a Conor McGregor pay-per-view, I can either give it a 7 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. And let me explain why. The main event, I felt should have been a little bit more competitive with Conor. Khabib just shut him down. And if you're a Khabib fan, this is probably a 9 out of 10 card. I just wished that fight was better, is what I wish it was more competitive. I'm a little upset with it, but we're going to have to see what happens next. We're going to have to see what happens. On to the next one, right? On to the next one. All right, guys. Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, MyMMAnews.com. When it goes to the end, behave yourselves.